In this video, I'm going to cover a little experiment that I was running. I talked about it back in December, so before New Year's Eve. I started this experiment and I'm ready to share how it's coming along. So if you're interested to see what's happening in my project planner, am I still using it? Spoiler alert, no. But in this video, I'm going to share what's happened. So let's get to it. So back in December, I had shared that although I thought that having an all-in-one planner was going to be the way to go in terms of having my personal life management system as well as my part-time job project management system all in one place. And that's why I got a Filofax Norfolk, because it has 35mm rings, which are ginormous. Or is it 38 or 39? I think it's actually a little bit more than 35mm. But anyway, the rings are ginormous. I thought that that was going to be the perfect solution. But unfortunately, as I shared before, that planner weighed an absolute ton. It was way too much to carry around with me everywhere. So I decided that I would go back to my original plan of having two separate planners. One that would stay at home and be my life management system, and the other would be my stay at work project management system for my role as a home design consultant. So I'm managing lots of different projects. I'm having lots of different meetings. I need somewhere where I can keep all of those notes organized. Now, originally I decided to switch into this planner cover because this was just an experiment. I didn't want to use it as an excuse to run out and start buying all of the things. So I'd set up this planner. But the problem that I had, and I shared in the video when I initially set this up, was that the rings are quite small on this planner. They're only 19mm. And although I thought that that might be sufficient, actually, once I put everything in there, they were like, I couldn't turn the pages properly. So this was never going to be an ideal solution. So I did a little bit of research to try and find out what might be a better planner to upgrade to if I decide that this experiment actually worked in having my separate planner for my personal life, which I'm using the Moterm Luxe, the original one. All of my personal stuff is in there. And then having my project planner, like if that worked out well, I wanted something that had slightly bigger rings. Now, the issue I found was that I couldn't find anything. I looked in the usual places that I tend to buy my planners from. So first up, Filofax. I thought about maybe a Saffiano, and I really loved how this black looked. Like it's very businesslike. Like black is timeless and elegant, but it still feels very businesslike. And that's what I loved about this planner. So I thought, you know what, I'm probably going to invest in a black leather planner. Initially, I looked at the Saffiano, which I know isn't real leather, but I quite liked the texture on that planner cover. I've got a personal size in the colour graphite, so I kind of knew what to expect. But the only thing that didn't quite cinch the deal for me, although the price is quite good for that, I think they're around £50-ish. The ring size was still 30mm, and actually I wanted something that was maybe 25mm. I didn't want it to be too chunky. I also wasn't loving the internal setup or configuration of the pockets on the inside of the cover. So that quickly ruled that one out. Then I looked at the Finsbury, again in the chic black, but the ring size 30mm, and I wasn't loving the vertical card slots on the front cover. Now, my problem with the Saffiano is that, yes, it has horizontal card slots, but they are, I want to say they're at the back, or there's not very many. I can't remember. I'm doing this from memory, but I will pop on the screen some of my issues with those two planners. So then I looked at Moterm, my next favourite place to shop for planner covers. And I thought maybe the Moterm regular planner, because that does come with 25mm rings. But the pocket configuration for the card slots, although they are horizontal, they are at the back. And from my experience with the Norfolk, I already know that I don't love the card slots at the back. I want to have a little bit of a layering moment going on in the pockets with just a few little deco things, because that is literally the only place where I have deco in my planner, and I want to see it when I open my planner. If it's at the back, I'm not going to see it. So that kind of ruled that out. I then looked on Etsy, and I actually found this planner by Inspired Stories. So this is a UK-based shop, and I'll put a better picture on screen. But I just love how it has the gold rings. Yeah, they're not 25mm rings, but I'm not angry at the pocket configuration. Although most of the card slots are at the back, I still feel like the front would give me that moment to create a little bit of a layered deco effect. But I was looking at this just before Christmas, and I didn't want to pull the trigger on it because I hadn't fully run my experiment. And like I said, I didn't want to invest money in this. I wanted it to be the minimal viable version of this project planner to see whether that was going to work for me. Now, this didn't, as you can see. I did end up moving out, and so many people asked about this planner cover. Honestly, this is just a cheap find from AliExpress. I will share the link in the description below if you are interested. But again, that was another reason why I didn't really want to stay in this. I mean, yes, it's light. Yes, I like that it's it's stiffened. You can feel that it's got the cardboard in there. It's not a floppy situation like the Moterm or the Filofax planners. Yeah, so this went out. Now, spoiler alert, I did still stick with having a separate project planner. I am still continuing with that theme, and I decided to shop my stash before investing money, and I went with this. This is a little bit crazy. It's not black. It is, well, if there are any OG viewers who were there at the beginning of my journey on YouTube, sharing my planner journey, you will know that this was the first planner cover that I upgraded to when I decided that actually the Filofax clip book, although it's really, really good, it's not as good as having a proper planner cover. And this was the first planner cover that I bought that really got me hooked on paper planning and all of the things that come with that. And although I didn't want to have a patterned cover, I wanted to go elegant, timeless, black, business-like. And this is girly and fun and patterned. And you know what? It just makes my heart sing. I don't know if it's this time of year. We're in the middle of winter here in the UK. We've had cold snaps, we've had week-long frosts, and this just made me really, really happy. And it still does. Every time I take it out of my bag, it sparks joy. So for now, I am using this. I don't want to use it forever. I may still invest. The Inspired Stories planner. It's only 40 British pounds. That includes having it personalised with your initials. So yeah, I think I may pull the trigger on it, but I wanted to wait until I'd at least got to Quitter's Day and evaluated the situation with this before spending money, which again, I know £40 isn't a great deal, but I have so many planner covers at this point. Do I need another one? No, I don't. But do I want another one? Yeah, kind of I do. Anyway, coming into how I've set this up. Not a lot has changed from my original video where I did my kind of scrappy getting that black one set up and sort of just chucking in the basics in there. But I have added just a few little things. So in the front pockets, I've got another one of my Traveller's Journal or Traveller's Company stickers, which I've just propped up with a sticky note just to give it a little bit of height in that pocket. I've still got my grid paper sticky notes there, and then just one planner charm. So I'm still keeping it very basic up the front. The newest addition to this setup really would be deciding to actually use the Traveller's company free weekly. So this is a weekly where, not free weekly, what am I saying? Dated weekly. I use the free weekly for my gratitude journal, but for work I have the dated vertical weekly so that I can do time blocking because it has the hourly schedule. This happens to be a spread where I've got time off work, so there's not a lot to see. But if I show you this page, I really am very scrappy, very rough and ready in here. I'm literally just blocking out where I need to be doing admin or design work, where I've got meetings, where I need to allow for travel time or meeting prep. I've got, say, a weekly to-do list where I'm literally just drawing out some check boxes on my grid paper. And if I need to do more of a daily list of things that I need to try and get done before the end of the day, I'm literally just trying to squeeze it in at the top of the day for that week. So far, this has worked out quite well. The only dilemma I had was, how do I keep it in my planner? Initially, I thought I could slot it in a pocket at the back. But as you can see, this is really close to the rings. It's super duper awkward to maneuver this in and out. Then I thought maybe I could keep it in this notepad pocket. But as you can see, it is only going to dent this pocket at the back here. So I didn't really want to damage my planner for the sake of that. For speed, I just ended up chucking in a top opening envelope, but I just felt like it was kind of wobbling around in there. It wasn't really a nice tight fit. I wasn't really loving it, but it solved the problem until I finally decided I am going to stick a piece of acetate on the back, punch holes in it and slip the holes so that I can easily move it in and out of my planner. And that is my solution for now. Again, I'm being very scrappy, and the whole reason why I'm using this situation is because I didn't want to print out on inserts and have to be printing out weekly inserts or buying weekly inserts and filling up a section in this planner and it feeling like I'm just doubling up on what I'm doing in here. I wanted it to be very separate. I also wanted the ability to be able to just bring this home with me in my bag and be able to leave my work projects at work. Now, I haven't actually left this planner at work. I still bring it home with me, but I like that I've got the option that this is quite portable if I don't want to keep lugging this whole thing around. So that's been quite good. Now, in terms of the setup in here, it is still quite basic. I've got the original fly leaves from Filofax, the clear one and the patterned one. And then I've just got this vellum with 2025 printed on it, which I did myself. It's like quite simple. Anyone could create that. I've got a year at a glance, although I'm probably not going to use that. A pouch with my spare ink and spare leads, as well as some stickies, page flags that I use to separate out the different projects within the indexes, and then my inbox, which again, I've shared this loads of times, but I will start a fresh inbox each month and just list out the things that I need to get done or things that I'm waiting for. And then when we switch to the following month, I will just look back, see if there's anything from the previous month that hasn't been actioned or followed up on, and I will transfer those to a new inbox. Next up, I've got my project checklist for managing my projects. Then I've got a pouch where I keep my receipts for expenses, followed by some, let's find a blank one, dot grid paper, which is how I use, is what I use to make my notes. And then the A to Z index is where I keep all of my meeting notes organised, all of my project notes organised. And for me, this has really been the way that I'm able to find things and stay on track by having meetings and immediately putting them into some sort of organisational system where I can easily find different things. That was a massive, I hate to say it, game changer for me when I first got into this role. It was the first change that I made to my planner setup. And then in terms of the other tools that I'm using on here, I've just got which one is this? The KolourCafe pencil, even mechanical pencil by Uni. And then I decided to get the Uni 1 pen because I was struggling to take my sorta in and out of this elasticated pen loop. It has a grippy, rubbery grip, finger grip on the barrel here, which was just getting stuck in that elastic. So I decided to switch to this Uniball one because it can just slide in and out quite easily, and it all kind of just blends cohesively. I really love it. So yeah. So that's not a super quick flip through of this planner and not a complete flip through of this planner, but this is where I'm at the moment with it, in terms of it's not a failure of an experiment yet. I think there's still scope for me to improve this setup. I'm not sure whether this was such a great idea. I might change it in the future. I don't know. I do really like it though. I love that I don't feel like I have to be precious in here. I can be very scrappy. I just use a pencil and I don't even use a ruler, as you can see, to draw out my time blocks for my working hours. And yeah, I'm love this, but I'm not sure whether it's cheating somehow, or not using this as it's actually intended. It's kind of MacGyvered into a weird solution which works for me, so that should be okay, right? And then everything else in this planner, I feel like it is working. The only addition I might make to this is another system for being able to, well, not a different, but an additional system for managing my incoming and outgoing projects. Because yes, this checklist is really great at keeping me on track of all of the milestones that will be within a project, but actually I'm not tracking the incoming bookings and the conversions of those, and sort of seeing where people are maybe dropping off, or having a system for getting that bird's eye view of this is how many bookings have come in this month, and having that compare and contrast that's instantly viewable. There is a way that I could do it, but it's so baked into awkward technology that it doesn't feel as quick and ready to me, and it's not something that I necessarily have instant access to. And then I did think about having some way of logging my clear review objectives, and I've written out some of the things that we use to set these objectives up, but I'm just not sure whether it's something I do need to have in my planner. So for now, I've just made a list of the different things that I would need to have if I was to create an insert, but I'm thinking there must be a way where I can add this into my little makeshift situation for, it's not even makeshift, this is the situation that I'm using for my weekly schedule. It's just makeshift in that I'm not using it in its intended way, but maybe there's a way that I can add those little reminders for my objectives into this. That would make more sense, and then having notifications on Google Calendar. I'm not sure, but that's where I'm at with this system at the moment. I haven't quit. I'm trying not to pull the trigger on that planner cover, even though the price makes it like such an easy purchase. But like I said, I don't need to buy more planner covers. That not having a planner cover is not my problem here. So buying one isn't going to be the thing that fixes my problem. Anyway, I shall catch you in the next one.